Hi everybody, welcome back to Carmen's Bronco Shop. It's been a long time, I know that. It's August of 24, and I think the last video I put out was probably 3 or 4 months ago. And that was when we were getting the chassis ready to install the engine and the transmission, transfer case, all that good stuff. And we've got the body out at the body shop. We took it out there in a jig, and it's partially done. It'll probably show up here any day now. And if my guy that's painting sees this, he'll probably chuckle at that. But regardless, we're in good shape. So what we've got is the new engine. It's ready to be started. I'll sit down here and just kind of work my way around. So you can see we've got the rad hooked up. We've got everything basically mocked in position the same way it would be if the truck body was on. This required some real thinking on my part, a lot of reading, a lot of Google searches and whatnot, because I'm not that technical. Anyway, there's a lot of wires that need to be grounded, and there's wires that you don't need to have grounded, but you've got to make sure that the ends of all this new painless wiring harness are closed off so that they don't ground out on anything. So there's a lot of stuff going on here, and I plan on running it for a few minutes once I get it going. So I wanted the water in the rad, I wanted everything to be able to function for a little while. I've got the transfer case in neutral. I've done all that stuff. So we're kind of at the point where I got to pull the trigger. So I'm gonna just, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Let's see. First thing you're gonna hear is the fuel pump turn on. I don't know if you can hear that or not. Okay. That's sort of cool, but not cool enough. The engine's turning over, so we've got power going everywhere, but it's not starting. So there's something that's not quite right. I gotta figure it out. Okay, plan B. So I messed around a lot with different things, and I was having a hard time getting this to start. And anyway, what it came down to, well, in fact, I don't even know for sure if the problem's solved. So you know what I'm gonna do? Before I even talk about this, I'm gonna try and start it and see what happens. All right, pump's kicked in. Okay, so it's still not starting. Back to the drawing board. Okay, so here we are, and we're gonna start this motor for you right now. We've done a few things to correct the problem. For starters, we put on a new MSD coil because someone thought that maybe I wasn't getting enough voltage, sustained voltage, out of the sniper coil, and it wasn't set up properly with the ready-to-run distributor. The second issue was my timing might not have been quite right, and the issue there is that I've got one of those harmonic balancers with the marks on the passenger side, and so I had to transpose them over to the driver's side, and I might have been off by a couple degrees, and now we've got that kind of corrected. The third and final, most important item, and you can see it there, is the fuel regulator. So on that one, I had installed the regulator with return line going in one side of it, and then the other return line coming out the other side, going directly to the tank. Doesn't work that way. It has to come out of the bottom. And that's the way I installed it because I just thought it would be that way. and there wasn't anything in the instructions that explicitly told me that I couldn't do that. Anyway, my bad. And I wasn't getting the fuel I needed. I was getting some fuel. I was doing all kinds of tests with paper towel to make sure, and you could see the fuel being squirted into the carburetor or the fuel injection, whatever you call it, or whatever you want to call it. But there wasn't enough. So there was just enough just to kind of get it to fire up, and that was it. Because obviously there's no fuel coming through because the regulator was stopping it all. Anyway, that's where we're at. Let's flash this puppy up, and you can see I put some new wires on too because the other ones that I had weren't proper. They were straight, so they came out and they kind of hit the headers. So let's give this a little flash up right now, and we'll kind of go from there. You're going to notice that it sounds, well, let's just see what goes on. Okay, just to close off this video, we've got the new breather and vents on the engine, got the rat off, kind of ready for the body to come back from the body shop. Oh, got the twin shifters installed. That was nice, and that was a smart move, but I can't take credit for it. Somebody else gave me that advice. Anyway, there's where we are there, and here's where we are here. Just got the body back from the body shop. It's dark metallic green with the cream accent stripes. That's just hanging on there because if somebody's not paying attention, they come, this door is going to bang right back up against the front fender. Anyway, really good. So we'll use the Rhino product on the floor, and then of course we got the Bronco mats to go in there. And anyway, we're really happy with the way this whole thing turned out. Sorry about all the crazy camera movement and everything like that, but anyway, yeah, that's cool. We just got to get it from here up on top of that jig and, get it off the jig and on top of that chassis we just saw back there. So this is where we're at. Body's done. It's kind of crazy. I might even quote some numbers when I'm all done this because people have no idea what it costs to build a body and have it painted in sort of this world. Anyway, all the best, everybody. The weather's turned here. It's now October 13th, and I know you guys are, the fellas in the States they're having some wild storms, and hopefully everybody's making their way through those okay. So we'll be back posting some new video, probably about in maybe a month, maybe 2 months. We'll definitely post the episode where I put this body on that other jig because that's kind of interesting to watch. Anyway, cheers to everybody and all the best.